Good morning everyone and welcome back. We have started the countdown to calving. It's the 20th today and on paper we're due to start calving on the 27th of July, so we've got a week exactly. Well, we've always mated for a 1st of August calving, but with all the short gestation bulls these days, 1st of August, or what once upon a time was 1st of August, would now be 27th of July. Last year I think we had our first calf on the 22nd, so I'm desperately hoping that that is not the case this year. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Got our springing cows here. It's been a bit of a chop and change because they're over there by the river. And this has been too wet down here in this gut here, so we took them out of this paddock for a couple of days in the hope that it would dry up, and I don't even know if it's going to be dry enough to put them in a couple of days time. We'll have to wait and see. Doesn't look like there's anything they're going to calve in the next 2 days, but I'm going to find a new paddock for them. I'll finish this bit off with the dry cows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I tell you what, I'm on my last nerve with that tooting. The boys are in the rav because it's a bit too cold. It's actually a frost this morning. But they think it's so funny to do tooting, and I don't find it funny anymore. Used to be quite cute. It's just a complete pain in the arse now. My impression just from looking at the swelling on the heifers is that they're getting a bit too much grass. We've reduced their grass down. We've actually been reducing their grass down, but my impression just by looking at them is that they're still getting too much grass. So now that we've got some fine weather to actually cut down the amount of grass that they're getting, the area that they're getting, I'm going to bulk out the hay that they're getting. Might go to 1.5 bales of hay, take a few metres off them. The heifers have just got a little bit too much edema for my liking. It's been bloody difficult to do that the last 10 days because the weather has been so wet. All very well trying to cut down their grass when it's fine, but a bit tricky when it's wet. Right, you little menace, stand back. We've got another problem. It's again a milking shorthorn or a milking shorthorn cross problem. Same problem as we had a couple of months ago. An escapee. She's figured out that she's a very hairy shouldered individual and that she can just push through the electric fence without any problems or consequences, so she's booked in for a shave tomorrow. I'll change where those springing cows are because I reckon it's way too wet. Like the water trough's in the wrong place, they'll be going back and forth.
Yeah, they're going through that
dip, so it's better either we just we'll feed that break off to the dry cows. It might even be just as one big break and not give them silage. But I also get the impression that the heifers in that mob have got too much edema. So I want to see what we'd need to feed them if we were feeding them 1.5 bales of hay.
They probably need less grass and more hay. Done.
Poison.
If you eat it, there's poison because you're a little pissy boy. So the big cow can have a little bit of it, but if you eat it, you get straight away way too much. Yeah, but because there's molasses in it, you think it's really, really yummy. You will eat way too much. No, I also don't need this. This is for cows. Hey. And those cows are gonna have a baby. Where is that knife? We just throw it on the floor. So we're going to put that back in the tractor, otherwise Mammy is going to be really, really angry if she can't find it.
There's one last minute job that we have to do before we start carving, and that's actually paint this wall here. The paint on it is getting a little bit, well, it's flaked off from water blasting and just wear and tear. So we've got some new paint. I priced up getting the Rolls Royce of the surface coating, but just to do this little pissy shed, it was going to cost over 16,000, and that didn't even include GST, so that was way too expensive. So I just bought a little bit of cowshed paint, and we have to do it ourselves, which is not a problem at all.
Mum, so you used the big boy to secure a bed, and I used the little one to design the toy, okay?
That's not how paint works. So you have to mix them. You can, say you're the little boy, you can shake the little boy, and I'll, seeing I'm so big, I'll shake the big boy. Just so that there's, so we have to mix it half and half, I think. God, grey wolf is not even that bloody dark. So we'll do about half of that. See, this has not got any colour at all. Yep.
Right. So you don't put mine in. Oh, this one.
Real thick.
What?
It's real thick paint.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, what do you say? This whole town could be red by the end of the day. If you feel alright, we could throw it and drive. With the radio up so loud they can hear us from miles. Me and you, nothing to do. These days they come and go. Me and you, nothing to lose. I feel it in my soul. So let's let the good times roll.
We made the call to change the springer's paddock. This paddock here wasn't working out, so we're going to move, Emo and I are going to move them out of here this morning, and I've got a far better option. This paddock's just too wet underfoot for us to reduce the grass to the level that we need to. They're looking for their silage, which they won't find, so maybe they'll just walk straight out. But the good news is there's no calves, and yet I had a look over the river there at the neighbour's place, and he's got a calf. What do you reckon, Emma? Should we get these cows out? Pretty cold. Come on, to the shed. My original plan when I'd come over here yesterday to set this break up was to actually have them start down the end of the paddock. But when I drove the bike through, there was a little problem there that got my heart racing a little bit. Make no mistake, that's a blocked drain. So she's pretty wet underfoot in this entire area here. Blockage must be up in the tile drain somewhere there underneath the hill. So no surprise I wanted to bring the digger up here and dig a hole and unblock this drain, but I was told no deal. Have to wait until summer. See, there's quite a lot of surface water just there. I think waiting to summer is a little bit of an underreaction. It's going to be it'll be a wetland by summer. I told the big boss, the digger driver, that I'd wait a couple of days to see if it had dried out a little bit with it being fine weather, and then I'd bring him up here in a couple of days time just to assure him that we definitely need to dig a hole and unblock that drain. And he said he'd happily come back in another couple of days and tell me that we won't be doing that until summer. So I'm a bit disappointed about that, but it would, in fairness, the pipe is anywhere from about over there all the way to the north side of that water trough. We could make a lot of mess not knowing where to dig, so he's probably right, but I just would so love to do it. I'm far happier with what the springers are getting now. We've increased their hay by 50%, and that looks like the right amount, or close to the right amount. We can always add more. But the reason that I'm so fanatical about hay is that it's so important in the transitioning. I couldn't transition cows without it. Some people do. It'd be a complete disaster if we tried to do it without it. I mean, there's a couple of major reasons. So if we feed too much grass to our springing cows, then what happens is that, well, firstly, they get too much swelling. That's probably the most visibly obvious thing that happens. The second thing is that the calves get too big. The third thing is that you get more stillbirths. I'm not sure exactly why. If cows get too much protein, then less oxygen is able to get to the fetus in the last couple of days of gestation. So yeah, if we've had particularly bad weather where we've had to feed a little bit more grass than we'd like to, or more grass silage for that matter, then we will get a few more stillbirths. Stillbirths are obviously more difficult calvings for the cows. And then the other thing is, I think that you get more poorly presented calves. If we get too many poorly presented calves that are, say, backwards, or they've got a foot down, we think that there's something wrong with the way that we're doing the transition period as springing cows, so we adjust that. This hay that we're feeding, that comes from grass that has only had one application of potassium, so we put 2 applications of potassium fertiliser on in a season. The first lot will be in October and the second lot will be between Christmas and the middle of January, but because this is shut up for hay, it doesn't get that second application, and that's quite intentional because we don't want very much potassium in our hay, because potassium and cows that are springing is a pretty bad combination. Generally speaking, if we're able to keep the hay high, the grass low and the weather's good, we don't have too many metabolic problems. If we feed too much grass silage or if we feed too much hay, we'll have metabolic problems. And then the rest of it is just managing the timing, but we'll worry about that in a couple of weeks' time. It's probably going to be close to the first calf. She's starting to spring, but still, you're not going to calve today. That's good. This cow here just behind me, she's one of the oldest cows in the herd now. She's rising 10 years old. And she's by an overseas bull called Aftershock, but she's in calf to, we put her in calf to, what's, Banff. We put her in calf to Banff as a Jersey bull because she's so low components, but she's ended up to be a really beautiful old cow for us. This fleck fee behind me is one of the fleck fees that's out of a Frisian Jersey cross. 50% Jersey, 50% Frisian, and then cross with a fleck fee. So technically a three-way cross. I didn't like the idea of a fleck fee crossed with a crossbred because I didn't think the udders would be quite good enough. But we just used them on cows that we thought needed way more front end. Fleck fees definitely added more front end to the mother, but if I look behind, I don't know what sort of house of horrors is awaiting down there. It's hard to see. Like, everything's just really low. So hopefully it goes better than I expect, but somehow I doubt it. Whereas some of the fleck fees that are out of straight Friesians just look a little bit more tidy. That's a fleck fee out of a straight Friesian. Still a fair amount of swelling. I'm surprised at how much swelling that the fleck fees have. Hopefully adding the hay in will help there. I'm pretty excited with how they're not springing.
Yeah, last year we had one calf, I think, the 21st. It's the 21st today.
Didn't we have? Yeah.
Last year we had the first one at 21st.
Because I seen over the river they had a calf there, and it's crazy because this used to always be 1st of August calving country, and now basically anywhere from the 10th of July you start seeing calves in the district.
Days of milk.
Yeah, well, days of milk, but like I was freaking out sort of 10 days ago thinking, shit, we're going to start calving tomorrow, but it's definitely better if they hold off a little bit.
Yeah, you don't want them to come. You all want them to come at the same time. 1st of August, boom.
Yeah, that'd be better.
That's all better.